for this game. Looking forward to the FA Cup, actually. Really looking forward to the FA Cup this season. Hey guys, good early morning, each and every single one of you. Welcome back to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Hope you're all having a good start to the early hours of your Friday morning. Hope you're all looking forward to your day. Hope you're all looking forward to the end of this week. And hope you all look forward to the brand new weekend in January 2024 this year. First of all, do me a massive favour for me. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video. Hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Always remember to put that notification bell on at all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2024 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. We've got brand new games and brand new content planned for this year. We'll be playing Avatar, The Frontiers of Pandora, co-op story mode and solo story mode. We'll be bringing Call of Duty into the gaming series and gaming content as well. More Fortnite, Rocket League, Fall Guys, EA Sports FC 24 career mode Manchester United, more previews and more match reactions planned for this year. Good early morning to every single one of you and welcome to the start of, the Emirates FA Cup. It's the third round this weekend in the 23-24 Emirates FA Cup. Obviously, our game is between League One Wigan Athletic and Premier League Manchester United. Obviously, I'm really looking forward to this game on Monday night. Obviously, it's a 8:15 even away kickoff at the DW Stadium against League One Wigan. Obviously, the history of Wigan Athletic Football Club, former FA Cup winners, now struggling in the bottom half in League One. Obviously, the decline of Wigan has been absolutely massive from the Premier League to the grasps of League Two, from the grasps of League One, Championship relegation. And obviously in League One now, they have been really struggling to pick up any decent results, any decent points. And obviously against Manchester United of the Premier League, it's going to be a very tough evening for me, in my view, that Wigan are going to have against Manchester United. Obviously now, looking at it from the bigger picture and looking at the week Manchester United have had after the Nottingham Forest game, obviously with the January transfer window now open and Manchester United bringing in players here and there and getting rid of players out of the door, obviously the FA Cup now is Manchester United's last chance to win any silverware, any trophy. And basically now we are relying on Manchester United to deliver the FA Cup, because obviously we lost in the final last season to Man City. We lost 2-1 in that FA Cup final at Wembley, which was massively heartbreaking. Obviously, we could have won the double. We didn't, and it was an unfortunate result that we lost 2-1 in the end. But you're looking at it now, and you're looking at it from a bigger point of view. The FA Cup is all what Manchester United have got left. This is the only competition we're left in. This is the only trophy we can win. If Manchester United were failed to win on Monday, it's going to be a lot of grasping, and it's going to be a lot of talk of getting rid of Erik ten Hag if Manchester United fail to beat League One Wigan. Obviously, we're against a team 2 lower leagues than us. Obviously, I'm not going to take this game with a pinch of salt and say Manchester United are going to absolutely cruise to the finish line on Monday night. It's going to be a very tough game. Wigan, of obviously former FA Cup winners, former Premier League giants, and obviously now really struggling in the bottom half of League One with some of the teams they're playing up against. You would have thought Wigan would have been doing a lot better than some of the teams that they face off in League One. And it simply hasn't happened. Wigan, again, are in a relegation fight to stay up in League One to avoid relegation to League Two. And obviously, a lot of players in, a lot of players out, new manager in, old manager out. There's been a massive change of Wigan Athletic ever since their relegation from the Prem. They've not been the same club they used to be. And Wigan now have got a very tough game Monday. Obviously, I look at it now. This is Manchester United's last chance to deliver silverware. This could be Ten Hag's last season in charge if results don't start picking up. And if you're looking at it, you look at the way Manchester United are playing in every competition, we're not really fighting for anything. We're out of the Champions League. We're out of the Carabao Cup. We're not going to get top 4. We're not going to be back in the Champions League next season. And it's going to be very tough for Erik ten Hag to hold on to his job as Manchester United's football club manager. And it's going to be extremely difficult to try and turn this season around. Manchester United have got no option Monday. We have to. Going out the FA Cup is going to cause huge consequences for Ten Hag in charge. Obviously now, you've got Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Sir Dave Brailsford, and obviously the ex-PSG director and board member now working in Manchester United alongside the Glazers. And I think for me, they are going to take a very dim view if Erik ten Hag fails to win on Monday. I think if Manchester United were to lose, get embarrassed and to get out by a lower league club, 2 leagues lower than us, I don't think Ten Hag is going to have much choice but to go. I think Manchester United could sack him. I honestly look at it now. We have to win the FA Cup because it's the only competition we've got left. And I can't realistically see Manchester United getting top 4. We're not going to get back into the Champions League. It's going to be tough. It's going to be extremely, extremely tough to try and pick up results from anywhere else. I don't see where Manchester United are going to be able to deliver any other trophy because we can't win anything else. And I think for me, there's a lot of people saying don't expect Manchester United to go with a full-strength squad on Monday. Don't expect Manchester United to go with a very strong team. Don't expect Manchester United to play the big guns and put a full-strength team out for the game on Monday. I completely disagree. We have got to take this FA Cup seriously now. We have got to really put priority on trying to win the FA Cup, because if we can win the FA Cup and we can maybe get into the Europa League or the Europa Conference League, which again would be another disaster, I would have to take it because of the season we've had. I would have to take the way we've been playing, and I would have to face fact. We are going to be in a club in a lot of transition. We're going to be a club that is going to be laughed at and embarrassed on and off the pitch. And if we can win the FA Cup, it will shut a lot of people up. But is it really competition Manchester United can really afford not to win? That's the big picture here. Can Manchester United win the FA Cup? I think we've got to try to, because of the way the season's been. And obviously, you're going to have to hope as well your bigger teams and the bigger rivals around you are going to get knocked out as well, because I'm looking at it from a bigger point of view. Man City are going to be aiming for the treble. You've got Liverpool and Chelsea in the Carabao Cup semi-finals against Fulham and Middlesbrough over 2 legs. Man City, Arsenal are still in the Champions League. We're out the Carabao Cup. We're out of Europe altogether. And what have we got left to really answer ourselves? The FA Cup is our saving grace. Obviously, we've not won the FA Cup for a number of years now. It will be going on 8 years since we last won the FA Cup. I don't think people realise how bad of a season it was then to what it is now. And this, for me, has got vibes of that Louis van Gaal season where we went on to win the FA Cup against Crystal Palace, where Jesse Lingard scored that absolute screamer of a winning goal. This season reminds me of it. Like, I've got too many recognitions of how bad that season was to what it is now. The whole club at the moment is in bloody turmoil because we've got players going out the door. We're not looking like we're going to bring anyone in. Apparently, we are only going to be able to do a loan deal for a striker and maybe a cheap centre-back. And the rest of it is now, if Man United don't win the FA Cup and we go out Monday and we do lose to Wigan, Ten Hag hasn't got no questions. He will be forced to go. He will be given the push. He will be given the sack if he doesn't deliver Manchester United a trophy. And I'm not blaming Ten Hag for the mess we're in. The mess we are in is due to the board and the directors of this bloody football club. And honestly, I've seen so many people think that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to turn this fucking around. And all this hope and all this promise is the biggest load of false hope in reality I've seen in my lifetime. And anyone thinks that Manchester United are going to get back top to the top anytime soon, I would have a hard-on look in the mirror at the moment and realise you are massively, massively mistaken. You are massively naive to think that Man United are going to be able to keep delivering success after success. And I've seen some quotes from Sir Jim Ratcliffe today. Our aim is to restore the glory at this club. We're not going to take any money. It's not about the money. Bullshit. Of course it's about the money. Of course it's about the money. But at the moment, our Manchester United here are going to be in a bloody mess by the end of the season. If we don't win a trophy, people have got to start looking at the big picture here. League One Wigan ain't going to be pushovers like everyone thinks we're going to beat them heavily and quite convincingly. I would have a quick and hard-on look in the mirror and realise that Man United are massive pushovers. Manchester United are going to find this game tough. We're not going to steamroll them. We're not going to hammer them. Manchester United have got a job to do. They've got to start delivering what we're looking for, and that is some bloody consistency on the pitch, because against Nottingham Forest, which we shouldn't have lost, but we deserve to lose in the end, we can't keep affording to make the same mistakes in the Cup. But unfortunately, because our mistakes have been exposed too many times this season, I'm expecting League One Wigan to give us a game here. at the DW Stadium, which they hardly can get full anymore. I remember back in the day that Wigan were able to fill that stadium to the full capacity. And now, from a bigger picture, Wigan are really, really struggling to get across the finish line here. They're struggling in League One. And maybe Manchester United take that to their advantage that, do you know what? We've got a kind FA Cup draw here. We might not be able to take the game as serious as what Wigan are going to do, but we'll manage to get over the finish line only just. I don't want to be getting over the finish line only just, because if you do lose to Wigan and you do get knocked out in the FA Cup, all the fingers will be pointing at Eric Ten Hag by Monday evening. If Man United fail to and we do go out, everyone is going to blame Ten Hag. Everyone is going to blame Ten Hag. Everyone is going to blame Ten Hag. Everyone thinks that Eric Ten Hag is the big problem at this football club. I wish you would realise the problem at this club this season has been these players. These players aren't bloody good enough. These players are not fit enough to wear the shirt. These players should not be representing Manchester United. These players are getting away with a lot of crap again. They're getting away with a lot of excuses, and they think they can keep on carrying on the way they're acting on and off the pitch. At the moment, we can't keep affording to do that. And I think they're going to have to realise, well, if we don't win a trophy, we're completely screwed here. Well, congratulations for realising that when you got knocked out the Champions League and you couldn't even defend the Carabao Cup. And you're finally realising that, oh shit, we might not get top four and we might not get European football. It's like all of a sudden these Manchester United players have woken up from their slumber and realised that the shit they've got themselves in is going to cost them Monday, because the FA Cup now is a trophy. Winning the FA Cup would put us in a good direction, hopefully, to finish the season off on a positive note. But the moment we've been playing and the way we are not performing and we are putting in bang average mid-table performances where Manchester United are expected to deliver to the highest quality of top-tier football, Wigan could turn into the Premier League club Monday. They could put us into a bloody catastrophe if we fail to get a result, because failure to win, you go out. If you only draw this game, you go to a replay at Old Trafford, which is then going to cause even more fixture congestion, which Manchester United have got a lot of coming up. But thankfully, we've only got 2 games this month, which is a little bit weird and a little bit strange. But now it's Manchester United players to start talking the talk and walking the walk, because I want some kind of response from the Forest game. Like, that was a bloody disgrace losing to Forest. The first defeat ever in 1990 since 1994. The worst period we've been on up to Christmas for 93 fucking years. And the first Nottingham Forest manager to beat us since Brian Clough. And you finally realised that we are in a bloody mess. And I think Ten Hag is going to have to realise this. If I don't win this game and I don't pick a team that I think is good enough to be able to win us this result and get us through to the 4th round, and Man United are going to have to hope for this as well. If we do win Monday, they're going to have to hope the draws after that they get put in are kind to them. Because if we get through, Arsenal and Liverpool, one of them are going to go out the weekend. Man City are probably going to beat Huddersfield. Chelsea will probably beat Preston. Tottenham will probably beat Burnley. If Man United can win, we have still got all those difficult prospects to face in the next round, which Manchester United would need to desperately avoid. We have got to hope we have miracles in this competition. We're going to have to hope on moments of glory, and we're going to have to realise if United don't win the FA Cup, this season's over. It's going to be a complete car crash. All the players are down tools, and this manager's going to go. If things do not start picking up by the end of February or the beginning of March, I am categorically telling you now, I am going to consider where I stand with this club in the season, because I am sick to death of the excuses. I'm sick to death of the bullshit. And I'm really getting fed up of Manchester United coming up with the same old crap and the same old bullshit and the same old PR to cover up the failures. We need to beat Wigan. This is a massive game. But I do expect us to beat them. I would expect Manchester United to beat Wigan. But the way we've performed in December, we picked up 2 Premier League wins. And that was it. and that was Chelsea and Villa. The rest of those games, we drew and we lost. And Man United got shown up badly, not just at home, but away from Old Trafford as well. The form clearly is suggesting here Wigan are the favourites. For me, Wigan Athletic are going to start this game as favourites on Monday. They are going to look at that Man United side and they're going to look at their December fixtures and their December results, and they're going to look at their performances and they're going to target us. They're going to target us with the long ball. They're going to try and press us on the counter attack, and they're going to try and do to us what we can't do to our rivals, and that is constantly attack the opposition goal, go a goal up, get the second, finish them off with a third, game over, we win. Man United have not been doing enough of that all last month. In 2023, it has been a bloody nightmare for this club. Man United are in a mess. Man United are a joke. And I didn't realise now I'm relying on an FA Cup to win. And we're going to have to win it. But again, are we favourites to win this game Monday? You would like to hope so. You would like to hope so. And I think Ten Hag realises that he's going to have to go full strength. I would not be making hostile changes to this team. I think Ten Hag is going to have to stick with the players he's got. And I think he's going to have to stick with the team that we've currently had in our last few games. And like he said in his press conference yesterday, he's already stated it's pretty much going to be exactly the same team for the Nottingham Forest game, for the Wigan game, because Man United haven't got the players. We haven't got the squad. We haven't got the fitness. And as for recruitment so far, we've wasted a week in this January transfer window and we've done absolutely fuck all. All we've done is let Donny van der Beek go on loan to Eintracht Frankfurt. Sancho is going back to Dortmund and we only got a 4 million loan fee for him. Palestri looks like he's going on loan as well. They've triggered contract extensions for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof and Hannibal Mabry, which are not deserved based on how shit all of them have been all season. And then they're on about extending Martial's contract till someone bids for him in January. I mean, can you believe the sight of this club we once were? Would we really be doing this if Sir Alex Ferguson was still managing us? Would we be giving contract renewals to players who do not work and do not put in a work rate? I can't justify how all 4 of those players are getting contract extensions. And if some of them play on Monday, I'm going to have to start calling for Ten Hag to go, because I am sick to death of the favouritism. I'm sick to death of the same old players making the same old mistakes. And I'm just fed up with their demeanour. I'm fed up with the body language. Those players clearly aren't fighting anymore. The players are down tools. They've given up on the manager and they have thrown him to the wolves. These players know exactly what they've been doing ever since we started to kick a ball for the start of this new season. Those players knew exactly what they were going to do and they've all done it. They have thrown Ten Hag under the bus. And Ten Hag apparently is the one who's making these decisions. I can categorically tell you something I was told by someone close to Manchester United. Ten Hag isn't picking this team. Players are being picked because of favouritism, price tags they can get for these players, and some of the players they've brought for the hefty price tags that some of the clubs got out of us, some of those players are starting because of the hefty price tag. That is why the team has been what it's been. That is why players like Amrabat isn't playing. Players like Reguilon, who aren't playing, who's no longer at the club. And that would have been a good game for Reguilon on Monday. But unfortunately and idiotically, we haven't got Reguilon now. He's been sent back to Spurs in disgrace because Manchester United decided not to renew his contract till the end of the bloody season when we've got no left backs. Make that make any sense, by the way. We've got no left backs at the club who we are needing a left back for Monday, right? We've got no left backs. Luke Shaw is injured. Malacia isn't back till February. And we've sent Reguilon back to Spurs, who's been our best left back ever since we've signed him. We've cut his loan short in this month, in this January transfer window. We have sent him back to Spurs because some idiot decided to put a break clause in the contract. Once Malacia and Shaw are both fit, Reguilon can go back. Why has Reguilon been sent back when we've got neither of our other 2 left backs available? And this is what angers me. If we've sent Reguilon back, which we've done, we ain't got no left back for Monday. I don't think people realise how stupid Manchester United make themselves look knowing they have sent Reguilon back, because Reguilon would have played Monday. Reguilon would have played. And apparently another decision why Reguilon's been sent back is apparently because we got knocked out the Champions League and we got knocked out the Carabao Cup. I mean, are you having a laugh? We sent Reguilon back, who's better than Luke Shaw, who's better than Malacia, and you sent him back to Tottenham. I actually feel sorry for Sergio Reguilon. He's miles better than Luke Shaw. He's miles better than Malacia. And he's been sent back to Spurs because of the stupid clause in the United contract. I'm fuming. Reguilon was one of my favourite United players, and he's gone. It's just idiotic decision-making by complete muppets who have got no clue. And that would have been the perfect opportunity to show Manchester United what they've been missing if Reguilon would have played, and he probably would have been selected Monday now. But now he's gone. That back four, we know the back four, who it's going to be. We know exactly who's going to start. We know exactly who's going to be playing. And we know exactly what the team's going to be. Because like Ten Hag said again, like I state, the team is going to be exactly most the same like Nottingham Forest match. I mean, brilliant. The team that lost, basically. So the team that cost us against Forest are going to be given another opportunity to prove themselves, even though those players aren't good enough. Which makes no sense. I'm absolutely fuming with the decision making. We've wasted a week in this transfer window and we've done fuck all. I mean, it might have been an opportunity to play Sancho. Oh, he's gone as well. We've sent him back to Dortmund on loan. Oh, it might have been an opportunity for Donny van der Beek. We've sent him to Eintracht Frankfurt on loan with a buy option at the end of his season-long loan deal. Can people see why I'm getting a little bit miffed now? There was an opportunity to play players that have not had much game time for this game on Monday. Now they've got rid of Donny and they've got rid of Sancho. If Pellistri goes out the door as well, who apparently has been linked with Nice in France and Flamengo in Brazil, if they let Pellistri go as well, which he ain't good enough anyway, I'd be happy Pellistri left the club permanently. He's crap. But there was an opportunity for these players to get some much needed game time. And most of the key players that we need for big upcoming Premier League games are going to have to play Monday now. And people saying, why would you play your full strength team? Well, let me think about it. Look at the league position, look at the cup competition we're out of, and look what we're left with. We are left with the FA Cup. And you're telling me we need to be prioritising the league over the FA Cup now. We win the FA Cup, it guarantees Man United a spot in the Europa League. And you're going to have to take it. Because if United don't take it, I can guarantee you by the summer, Ten Hag's going to be gone, the club's going to be in a mess, and basically no one's going to have a clue how we're going to do next season, which is going to absolutely happen. So I'm quite fuming what's already been going on up to the build-up for this game, because we've basically got an unfit team with no options available because Donny's gone and because Reguilon's gone. The back four that will play on Monday will be Wan-Bissaka, Rafael Varane, Johnny Evans, and it will be Diego Dalot at left back. The four most awful back four I have seen in my lifetime. I would rather have had Rafael da Silva, Ferdinand Vidic, and ever in that back four, who are absolute legends of this football club, by the way. And now we've got a back four containing an injury-prone Johnny Evans, who's not got it in him anymore, Rafael Varane, who seems in and out this team, Diego Dalot, who's basically trash, and Wan-Bissaka again, who we've extended his bloody contract. All are going to play Monday. I mean, there's even rumours we're giving Johnny Evans a new contract for next season, a 1-year contract extension. Well, you know what that means then. If we're keeping Johnny Evans for next season, then I'm sorry to say, if these fans and supporters think that Man United are going to go and sign a centre-back in this January transfer window or in the summer, think a fucking again, because it is not going to happen. Manchester United will not sign any players this month. We're apparently looking at a striker on loan, and we're going to try and somehow get towards the end of the season and then get a centre-back in the summer, which will probably be gone because other clubs will come and poach our players we want. So the back four is pretty much going to be the same as we saw against Forest. The same back four that let Nottingham Forest have 2 goals unmarked in the penalty area, and that back four couldn't defend either of those goals being prevented. So all them are going to cost us again on Monday. For the midfield, it is what it is. We have still got no Amrabat. So, unfortunately, again, the midfield is going to be Fernandes, Eriksen, and probably Manu, who all three of them were bloody trash against Forest. I could not believe how bad that midfield was. Absolutely woeful. And don't tell me, oh, pick Hannibal Mabry. He needs to be given a chance. Hannibal Mabry was meant to be being sent out on loan this month to get some game time to build up his confidence and his Premier League experience. We're now keeping him, extending his contract, and basically we can't loan him because Donny van der Beek's gone. I mean, can you believe the irony? Like, there's people saying, give Hannibal Mabry a chance. He is no better than Donny van der Beek. Donny van der Beek is 10 times better than Hannibal Mabry. And we're renewing Hannibal's contract. I just don't get this decision-making. I don't want Hannibal playing Monday. I don't rate him. His attitude stinks. His tackling is atrocious. And for me, the amount of bookings this guy has picked up for Man United this season isn't acceptable. When we played Newcastle in the Carabao Cup 4th round, he should have been sent off in that first half for making too many stupid, untimely tackles. And we're giving him a contract extension. But we've sent Donny packing back to Eintracht Frankfurt. So Bruno's going to have to play Monday. Eriksen's probably going to have to play. But I suppose the good news is Mount's back in training. Casemiro's back in training. Well, if you haven't got Amrabat, then I'm sorry to say, and you ain't got Casemiro and you ain't got Mount, because there's no way Ten Hag is going to risk those players jumping straight back in to a Man United game with this future of the club's now on the line. If we don't win this game Monday, everything could go downhill even more if we go out the FA Cup. Ten Hag is going to have to realise, well, I've got no Amrabat. I'm not risking Casemiro. I'm not risking Mount because they've only got the injuries, but they've only just come back to training these last couple of days. So there's no way Ten Hag will risk either of those two. So the midfield options are already looking bleak already for Monday, because Manu, who's probably been our standout player against Chelsea, Liverpool and Newcastle, away from home twice, and then at Old Trafford, who's been our best performing midfielder, has again got all the pressure of the world on his shoulders because of the age and how good he's actually been in some of his last month's performances in December 2023. You've got an aging Eriksen whose speed is clearly going, and the faster pace of the English game is now starting to catch up with Eriksen. And then you've got Bruno, who's been underperforming, was given the captain's armband, and all of a sudden Fernandes has dropped off a cliff. So for me, I would have to select those three because we haven't got any other midfielders to pick from. And Hannibal Mabry for me is an option off the bench. I wouldn't want Hannibal here. He ain't bloody good enough. And I wish people again would realise how stupid it sounds that people think some of these players have got a realistic future. I'm sorry to say, wake up and smell the coffee. Because at the end of the day, some of these players should not be at this football club. They are given too many opportunities to think they're good enough to prove themselves. I'm sorry. Players like Hannibal Mabry are not needed at Manchester United, especially what he did last month in several big games. Hannibal wasn't even in the team because he isn't good enough. And Ten Hag realises that. He doesn't want Hannibal Mabry, but the club have decided to give him a contract extension. So again, it's just really, really poor for Man United that the options we haven't got available, we've sent one pack in and most of the others are injured. So Ten Hag will be forced to pick Eriksen and he'll be forced to pick Fernandes, and Manu will have to play because Man United have got no other options. But then again, he might play the kids Monday. And someone said, well, it wouldn't surprise me if Ten Hag picks all the kids for Monday's game. We can't afford to do that. We can't afford to do that because if we lose to League One Wigan, it is going to be a massive L, because that is going to be a major FA Cup upset. And the FA Cup always produces magic. So Man United can't afford to rest on their laurels here. They have got to go for this because this is our last chance. Some of these players' futures are going to be decided Monday. Some of these players' futures are going to be decided. And we need to realise that now. But I don't think what's helping is, we've talked about the midfield. We've talked about the defence. We know Onana's probably going to start because obviously we're trying to get him to stay for the Spurs game next Sunday evening, which is back in the Prem again. That's match day, I think, 21. So they're trying to extend Onana stay in the country before he goes to fly for the African Cup of Nations, which is a pointless competition. And then you've got Bandia. I mean, does Bandia play against Wigan Monday? Do you give this reserve Turkish goalkeeper a game? Or do you still stick with Onana, who's been conceding goals left, right, and centre all season long? Do you play this backup goalkeeper? Another big talking point. Do you play this backup goalkeeper? My heart says no, and my head says no. He ain't good enough. And then he's come out moaning saying, well, I'm not happy with the game time I haven't been given, and I'm not satisfied under Ten Hag. Why the fuck did we sign him then? Why the fuck did we sign this goalkeeper? If he ain't happy, piss off. Neither you or Onana are either good enough, I'm sorry to say. Neither you or Onana should be at this club. You're not good enough, lads. I'm sorry to say, the truth hurts. But I think Ten Hag will stick with Onana. That's the thing. Even though all the mistakes and all the repetition that Onana's making in constant United performance after performance after performance, he's going to pick him because Ten Hag believes in the goalkeeper. But any mistakes Monday, Bandia's going to be rubbing his hands in the African Cup of Nations and like, right, Onana's away here. I've got an opportunity. But would you play him? I mean, would you trust Bandia when he's away from Manchester United this whole January? Even though we've only got 2 games, these are 2 massive games. These 2 games are going to determine United's season. This is make or break this week. It's make or break next week, I'm afraid. Anything bad happens, United are going to be in a mess. So, that's the goalkeeping discussed. So we then move on to the attack. And again, we're giving Martial a contract extension. I don't understand why. Why we are extending that guy's contract is a joke when we need to be getting rid of him permanently this month to someone if we can sell him. I would be starting him Monday. And there's rumours that, Martial's been ill. Don't believe that bullshit. Martial isn't ill. Martial is actually been told he's no longer required. And we're trying to shift him out and try and buy a cheap loan striker on loan. And, Martial shouldn't be playing again for Manchester United ever again. So, Martial is done for me. I wouldn't risk Pellistri because he ain't good enough either. So, United have got not just one issue, but 2, because neither, like I said, Martial or Pellistri are either good enough. Pellistri does not deserve any more chances. He ain't good enough, I'm afraid. People can hype him up as much as you like, but sorry, but this guy ain't good enough. He ain't the problem to our right-wing problems. Sorry, he's not. He ain't good enough. But then again, if you don't play Martial and you don't select Pellistri, what have we gone and done in this last week? What are we trying to shift out? Jadon Sancho is going back to Dortmund on a season-long loan till the end of this current season, and all we're getting is a 4 million loan deal from Dortmund with a 25 million option to buy him. So Sancho has basically left Dortmund to come to Manchester United and has gone back to Dortmund. This might have been an opportunity for Sancho to play on Monday, but I couldn't see him apologising to Ten Hag or the players or the squad or the fans or the supporters because Sancho's thrown his toys out the pram, acts like a spoilt little brat and a 5-year-old baby, and he's got his way, he's got out the club, and basically, it wouldn't surprise me now, he goes back to Dortmund and starts ripping up the Bundesliga again. It would not surprise me. And then Manchester United are on the phone to Dortmund a few years later. We want Sancho back. But it might have been a game for Sancho to prove himself to Ten Hag that he's committed to, changing things around and turning it around. But clearly, you ain't got no Sancho. So that's problem number 3. So what you're now left with, basically, at the moment, I've got a message on my phone. So basically, what you're left with at the moment is Ten Hag stuck with a crap Pellistri, a Martial who doesn't want to be at the club, and Sancho who's pissed off back to Dortmund. So again, Manchester United are now reliant on Garnacho, Højlund, and Anthony. And an inconsistent Marcus Rashford. If I'm doing anything with that front three, don't ever deploy Marcus Rashford down the middle again. He is not a striker, Eric, and I wish Ten Hag would realise this. Marcus Rashford clearly has suffered burnout. Marcus Rashford doesn't want to be at the club, or is he carrying an injury, or is his personal life outside of football affecting his form, or is he burnt out from last season because Rashford was so much reliant on? So, again, this is a big problem for Eric Ten Hag here, that he hasn't really got a front three he can trust, because it shows that we're trying to sign a cheap striker on loan. So Martial's going to go down the pecking order. So will Pellistri. Sancho's going to be gone. And then, you're stuck with Marcus Rashford out of form. And then what do you do? Well, you look at the right wing. We move back to the right wing. And then again, you talk about who've we got. Well, after Anthony went off with which looks like a hamstring problem against Nottingham Forest in our previous Premier League away game, he went off injured. Again, another player we kind of could have done without getting injured, and he's picked up a knock. So, again, if we haven't got Anthony, that's problem number 4 for Monday. So what's the realistic option here? Well, you can't put Garnacho on the right because he ain't a right winger. You can't put Rashford on the right because he's not a right winger. I think the time now is for Ahmad. I really think it's time for Ahmad. I think we need a more of a youthful attacking front three. That is what I would do. I think the time has come now to finally start picking your 3 best younger players in the front 3 positions. But again, we didn't have Højlund available for Forest. That might have made a difference, and we might have won the game, and we might have won those 3 points that we desperately needed, and we didn't get them. That is because we've got no clinical striker. And obviously, now Man United are looking at a cheap striker on loan this month in this transfer window. And obviously, with the rumours are true that they are not happy with Rasmus Højlund's development. They are absolutely fuming that 85 million has been spent on Højlund, and his development has not pushed him on. He hasn't really improved. He's not banging in the goals United hoped for. Well, I did say this would happen. I still back Højlund. He's still going to turn this around. He's going to become the goal scoring machine I think he will become. But if Man United would have gone and got that clinical striker in Harry Kane or Osman, this might have been a different picture this season. It might have been a different picture. And now, this is looking like a bloody car crash for Højlund. And I feel for the guy. I feel for the lad, because he's only 20. He's got the world on it, pressure of the world on his shoulders. He's trying to find the back of the net, and when he's not doing it on a level that Man United are trying to expect him to do, the lad is probably going to end up having to go eventually, because I think the pressure of the club and the atmosphere behind the scenes, because of how toxic it is, this isn't going to help Rasmus Højlund's development. It's not going to help his attitude or his goals to try and put the ball into the back of the net. So Manchester United really are not answering the downfall here. So, for me, I would still stick by Højlund for Monday. I think Højlund is going to have to play alongside Ahmad on the right and then Garnacho on the left. I think for me, we need to start building a team around these 3, because Rashford clearly ain't the answer. Pellistri isn't the answer. Anthony isn't the answer. Sancho isn't the answer. And Martial ain't the answer. That's 5 players there that United can't rely on. Sancho, Rashford, Pellistri, Anthony, and also... So, Rashford, Martial, Anthony, Pellistri and Sancho. That is 5 wingers I've said United cannot rely on anymore. They cannot rely on them, I'm sorry to say. They're done, I'm afraid. I think it's time for the Ahmad, Højlund and Ahmad show. And I think for me, a youthful Man United attacking front 3 will do damage to Wigan's aging back 4, because Wigan have got an aging team now. They are not once the club they used to be, Wigan. They're not, the full experience. They're not, they haven't got that leadership. They haven't got that ringleader in the team to be able to build the players around, to be able to commence their style of play, which their manager's trying to get out of them. And I think for me now, this is a big opportunity for United to go and actually put a 6 or a 7-0 win in. I think it's a huge opportunity for these players to put a lot of wrongs right, because they realise that we have been shit, we have been awful, We're out the Champions League and the Carabao Cup. The league's basically gone. Europe might not be happening next season either. So Manchester United have got 5 big problems, not just in the competitions we're in, but 5 problems up front. But for me, it's time for Garnacho, Ahmad, and the Højlund show. I think for me, if United build a team around these 3, United will move forward a lot more quicker. More goals will be scored, more free-flowing attacking football. Manchester United will become a more dangerous team with 3 attacking youthful players who I think, for me, have got it in them to become great. For me, that is what I would be doing Monday. I'm going a full-strength team. I think we've got no choice. Ten Hag is going to have to realise if you don't go full strength, we're going to go out the FA Cup. It's going to be another massive L for the club, and United's season is going to be over because we won't be able to win anything. And then Man United will basically then, we have got to turn the Premier League around. Well, the Premier League's gone, lads, I'm afraid. You're in this situation because of these players and the squad. The injuries haven't helped. Luke Littler, who obviously was the runner-up in the PDC World Darts Championship yesterday, obviously fair play to Luke for obviously getting to the final. Obviously, he didn't win it, but he's even said the injuries haven't helped. Exactly. And I've said this as well. The injuries haven't helped at all this season, I'm afraid. The season injuries and the amount of football we are playing is costing Manchester United. Too many decisions haven't gone our way. The injuries haven't helped either. Manchester United have got too many problems to fix. And the problem is we are papering over the cracks time and time and time and time again. Manchester United will never learn their lesson if they keep on carrying on doing the same thing they're doing every single fucking week. I want to win the FA Cup. Ten Hag needs to win this trophy. Otherwise, it's bye-bye Ten Hag. And United will move on to another manager and they'll try and pinpoint what they want. They might not want this player. They might want that player. They might not want that player. They're going to look at that squad and they're going to realise, oh my God, another rebuild is going to be needed. A new change of captain maybe, new coaching staff, new style of play. We need to become a bit more leadership in the team. United have got big issues, and those issues aren't being helped by the Sancho saga at the moment. Pellistri looks like he's going to go as well. So United, and Martial V goes, and I mean the strikers we're looking at, be terrified. Choupo-Moting from Bayern Munich, and Timo Werner from RB Leipzig. That apparently is going to be the striking options we're going to try and go for in this January transfer window. So basically, United's season is screw it up, down tools, give up, throw the towel in, wave the white flag, surrender like we always do, and try not to compete with anyone. This is the club we are. We are an absolute fucking mess. But I'm hoping we can put wrong the Nottingham Forest performance. I'm hoping United don't go out the FA Cup. If we lose Monday, this match reaction is not going to be a nice one. We need to win this game. We need to win this trophy. I'm going full strength Monday. I don't know what anybody else would think or view, but let me know your thoughts and views and opinions on what team you would go with, what lineup you would pick, what would be your options off the bench. And do you think United can win the FA Cup is the big question. I think we've bloody got to try and win it. Otherwise, United are just... The season will be over. It'll be a car crash. We won't be fighting for anything. And when we try and do our previews for the rest of the Premier League season, how can you say that United are going to get better? How can you say we're going to turn it around? How will Manchester United move forward? How will Manchester United get better if we're out of every other cup competition and all we've got is league football? Knowing at the moment, if the Premier League season was to finish, Manchester United would finish 8th and we wouldn't even be in Europe. That has never happened ever to this football club. That we've never, ever been out of Europe. That could happen. Reap the whirlwind if we don't get it. Reap the whirlwind if Manchester United become the mess they become, because it will get a hell of a lot worse. Manchester United's season is dependent on Monday. Manchester United's season has to be turned around Monday. If we can beat Wigan, we are then going to have to hope for kind cup draws, go on straight back to Wembley and win that FA Cup this season. Scoreline-wise, I'm going to go 4 or 5-0 United. I think United will win this game. I'm hoping we're not going to get a shock or surprise, but it wouldn't surprise me with the way we're playing. So all I'm going to say is let's see what happens. So I hope you enjoyed the preview. Hit the like button, the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and remember to always remember to put that notification bell on at all times as well to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2024 on this channel, on this community for more Fortnite, Rocket League, Fall Guys, F123, EA Sports FC 24. We will be bringing in Call of Duty. We will be bringing in Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, more previews, more match reactions. And then obviously, please join me for the match reaction and the final score on Monday night between Wigan and Manchester United in the FA Cup third round of this 23-24 season. Hopefully, we'll put the Nottingham Forest result behind us. We'll see a convincing Manchester United win. We'll be through to the fourth round, and hopefully we'll build on that, get straight back to Wembley and lift that FA Cup this season. But anything can happen. Manchester United are very unpredictable. So enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Be nice. Be kind to each other. You're all legends. You're all legendary. And I'll see you on the next one.